Hello, it's Helen from Authentic Awareness of You with the weekly tarot card reading for the week of the 18th to the 24th of May. So this week I'm using the Robin Wood Rider-Waite tarot deck. So let's see what's happening for us at the beginning of the week. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is an earth sign. She deals with, things that are real and tangible. And so it could be matters regarding money, your work, all the things you have to do. But what this queen ideally does, she's a nurturer, so she helps you to fulfill your dreams for one thing, but she's also she sits down and she contemplates things. She looks at all the things that are true and real, and she sits down and contemplates what will she possibly do about that, or even what is her next step. So the beginning of the week may be a time where you don't take a lot of action, you don't run around a lot, you don't get too stressed or too busy with things. It's a time of being very stable and very centered, and a time to just focus really with the job at hand and contemplate all the things that you perhaps feel that you need to really actually have a look at, but without getting too attached to them, and also without being or feeling overwhelmed or stressed or strung out by them, because she is the card of contemplation. She's sitting there, she's quite grounded, and she's quite the nurturer. So, now might be the time to really just nurture yourself, take care of yourself a little bit while you're sitting down contemplating all of these things. And she's also steady, and she's a non-action card. So it's time to sit down and quietly and calmly contemplate everything that's on your plate. Okay, so take it easy. Don't get too stressed. The trick is not to be too much in your head. It's time to perhaps not be too much in your head. Don't be too stressed. So if you do start to feel stressed, you maybe need to sit down, go and sit in the garden, or you need to get up and watch a movie. So as soon as you start to feel too stressed or too anxious about things, it's time to maybe back away, move away, sit down, watch a movie, read a book, sit in the garden, bake yourself a cake, so you don't go into that stressed, overdrive, worrisome, anxious energy, because she's about contemplating, but also taking care of yourself during this time. So we might see what the middle card is. And she's also very calm. When I sit down and look at her, she is quite calm. And also she possibly knows herself quite well too. So it's a time of paying attention, being very present with yourself. So when we come to the middle of the week, we have the Hanged Man. So he's a major arcana card. So this card is the big pause card. It's very much the non-action card. It is the card of getting a new perspective or a higher perspective on something. He's strung up in that tree there, and, he's just hanging there. There's not a lot perhaps you can even do at this point in time. So it kind of goes along nicely with the Queen of Pentacles. So these two are both contemplating things, and they're just sitting there and being present and perhaps seeing else what comes up. So there may be more to the story perhaps that you don't know about at this point in time. So he's also very much the non-action card. So it's don't take any action. And he's also the time of, sometimes we get in our own way with our worry and all of the stress we put in ourselves. And that can cause us to be in quite a deal of chaos. And as you can see, he's not really in that much chaos. He's just hanging around. He's not, flapping his arms anywhere. Everything is relatively still. So it's a time of non-action. You may be feeling like you can't move. So this may cause you to feel a little bit blocked, or as if you can't get up and actually do stuff, but that's okay. Take the time out to be like the Queen of Pentacles. Just contemplate, take things easy, nurture yourself. Go back to the very basics of things as well. Take things easy and simple, and steady yourself again. So it's very much a grounding kind of energy as well. And sometimes with the King, there's no king anywhere in this reading. Sometimes with the Hangman, it is that card of, there's stuff going on that we don't perhaps know about behind the scenes. And we kind of need to be doing what we do, get up and do our daily routine, doing the do. So all of that stuff can be worked out. And when they want us to come back in and play our part or step into it, the hangman, okay, gets up and goes, okay, we can go now. It's like, you know, the coming to the train station, or the train stops it because it can't go because the rails are down, and then, okay, what are we waiting for? Sometimes we don't ever see anything. You know, you sit there and you sit there and you sit there and you see absolutely nothing. Think, what the hell am I waiting here for? But you don't know what's going down because you can only see so far. So then, the rails come up and off you go, and you think, well, what the hell was that about? Well, that's the hangman. As far as I can see, that's what the hangman is. So there could be that element that's sort of happening for you. Something's going on, you don't really know about it. But anyway, you've got to pause, you've got to be still. So during that time, you just kind of, I don't know, occupy yourself, contemplate life, read a book, watch a movie, do the little things that you can do. And then you kind of get up and you kind of go. So that's the hangman. So we've got this sitting down, contemplating, letting life be kind of thing, without us being too busy in it, trying to control it or work it or maneuver it or whatever it is that we like to do. Okay, so contemplate, be still and hang around, and keep it simple and basic. So when we come to the end of the week, we have the Eight of Wands. Now, this is a completely different card and a completely different feel. Eight of Wands, this is the movement card. This is the action card. This is the card of, movement and action. So things are going to take flight. Things will definitely pick up. So you may find at the end of the week, you're more engaged in your life. You're up and you're moving again. You also may find, that you get, the information may come through, or the facts may come through that actually go, oh, okay, now I can do stuff. Now I know what's going on. So this is where the gates come up and you can actually go through. And it is also the card because you've got Jupiter in the background there. So it can be a very expansive energy. It can be about you really stepping out and having, your goals and aiming for them and achieving them. It's very much that things are on the go again. And the 8 can often be, it can be a communication card too. So, communication, toing and froing from someone. And it can also be this card of, it's quite an expansive energy though. So you may find that things really pick up. The speed picks up around you. But it's quite a focused, it's quite a focused energy though. You know where you're going, you know what you're doing. You're not just running around, without your head on and feeling quite stressed. It's a different kind of feel. It can often be sometimes, it also can sometimes be the completion of something as well. So you get some news and you find that it is kind of the completion of something. It can, which sometimes can be a bit strange because it is an 8 card, but it's like whenever you shoot an arrow in the air, it does land somewhere, and that's kind of the end of it. So it does kind of have that energy with it as well. It, may bring information that puts an end to something, or you hear about something and you go, oh, well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So, you know what I mean? It can have like it's energy in motion, but it kind of comes to an end, or there's an ending to something. So hopefully that makes sense. It's very much that possibility that, things are kind of wrapping up, but it may take, some communication or some information so you know that, oh, well, that's come to the end. Well, I can't keep doing that anymore. So it's kind of like an ending and kind of a beginning. So I usually, when I see this card, I think of someone firing an arrow. It's that very up, you have an idea where it's going to go. You shoot the arrow and it kind of goes there. But when it hits or lands, that's kind of the end of it. So there's kind of that kind of feel happening to this as well. So it could also mean the end of feeling blocked. It certainly could have that ending feeling of being blocked, or not being able to move forward or make any progress. It certainly could play that part in it. The energy's up and it's moving. So now you can move ahead and you feel that you're actually making some ground, where with these 2 cards, you may feel that you're not really going anywhere. You're just sort of plodding along. It certainly has that energy coming through. So things are going to pick up. It's an expansive, big energy, the 8 of Wands. So contemplation, pausing, non-action, and things are going to pick up and take up, and things are going to speed up for you. So we might leave it there. So that's this week's reading. I do appreciate you all watching and giving me your comments. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I shall talk to you next week.